Scott Lee Cohen was here for a few minutes and then had an emergency and ran out. He's also running for Lieutenant Governor. If Ryan's going to stick around a little bit later, I'll bring him up and he can say a few words for the candidate. Also running for State Comptroller is ClintKrislov. If you want to come up and talk to us. I mentioned to everybody that we got signs for Clint and all the other candidates over here in the corner. We also have candidate literature that you can take out to the door-to-door. Terry's gone. All right, here's Clint. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for hanging around. Now it's incumbent on me to make it worth your while. I'm ClintKrislov, and I'm running for Illinois State Comptroller because I think we need a taxpayer's watchdog in this job. You know, it's no secret that we've got a dire financial crisis. We have an annual shortfall of $11 billion, and we owe $90 billion. Now, it doesn't take a lot of division to figure out that that means that for every man, woman, child, legal, illegal, whatever, if you're in the state of Illinois, you owe $10,000, and between you and your family, you owe about $50,000. Top of the mortgage, top of everything else. Who pays for that? We do, the taxpayers. How do we get in this situation? We got there by a number of ways. One is chronic pension abuse. Anybody in the room get 3 pensions? 2 pensions, more than you made while you were working. We got a system that has been set up to benefit those who feed at the trough. And we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of the late stage appointments that give people $50,000 or $60,000 more for life for having served 6 weeks in a new job. It's wrong. And it's wrong. It saddles all of us. And it means that we can't spend money on things that we want to. Like what Mike talked about, that you know, you can send a juvenile offender to Harvard all 4 years for less than it costs to keep them in state prison facility. So if we can divert one person, if we can spend the money to divert one person from the Stateville track to the Illinois State track, the payback is tremendous. But the other thing is, you know, between the pensions, and so we grant these pensions and then we don't fund them when we have the money. So we're in this position. Why ClintKrislov to deal with it? We need a comptroller who's an independent person who can stand up to the interests that are in Springfield that want the status quo maintained. As the Daily Herald and independent voters, independent precincts organizations recognize, Daily Herald said, ClintKrislov's more than talk. What I've done for the past 30 years, I'm a public interest and class action lawyer. I've taken on the toughest powers, the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, the biggest corporate interests for workers, for retirees, for consumers. And it made them accountable, and it made them pay back millions of dollars. And when you double the amount that's in a person's pension fund to pay for their living, that makes their retirement more secure. And the Daily Herald recognized that I've taken on the special interest to do that. And I have concrete things that we need to address. I'll give you 5 now, there's plenty more. Number 1, we need to have the comptroller as a taxpayer's watchdog. And what I would do is appoint a forensic accountant to actually analyze all the state contracts. We can statistically analyze and identify those in which there's the likelihood of irregularity. Before the fact, rather than waiting for the U.S. Attorney to come in after all the money's gone and people are fleeing for the borders, actually to root out, end the culture of corruption in advance rather than after the fact. Number 2, we got to reform the pension system, obviously. We eliminate the double and triple dipping, eliminate the late stage appointments. And then we need tax reform as part of that too. You know, when I looked at the pensions, and the pensions are not taxed in Illinois. It's sort of unique. We share this with Alabama and Mississippi. But you know, there are people from other states who move here across the border to retire because a CEO who's got $1 million a year retirement package from an Iowa company, you know how much Illinois income tax they pay on that? None. You know, but for the weather, we should have more retirees living here than they have in Florida. But we need to reform the tax system so that when people go and say we need to increase the taxes, we need to make sure everybody's in it so that we're all participating. And I would oppose any tax hikes until the system is reformed as part of an overall package. Finally, one thing that we also do in Illinois is we run the system on 22 different accounting systems. Most people don't know that, but the Auditor General has pointed out that when you have to combine 22 different accounting systems to come up with a final report, it costs you a lot more money, and it means that we have a lot more likelihood of error. So we don't even know where we are. And so just Comptroller unifying the system so that we have one financial system, constant reporting and accurate reporting will both save us money and make things more accurate. Now there are a lot of people, my opponents are not, they're swell guys. You know, I've gotten to know David and Raja over the course of this. Each one of us is a great person. They're great people. I like me too. But the fact is we're very different. And I think the Comptroller's Office has to focus on the Comptroller's Office and what we can do to clean up the financial mess that we're in. And that's why I appreciate the Daily Herald's endorsement, the IVI endorsement, because I'm not a creature of the powers that be in Springfield, and I hope that I can get your support as well. Anyway, thank you.